Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video here. So it's election day. We'll come out later tonight with a bunch of different results and whether or not we even get a winner tonight. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's 50-50 if we get a winner tonight, but I'm not ruling anything out. My prediction's up, which you guys can go and see. But last night we did get a pretty big bit of news, guys. So again, I don't think it's that surprising, but Joe Rogan has finally endorsed Donald Trump for president here, and it's pretty interesting for a number of reasons. I mean, if you go back 4 years ago, guys, Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie Sanders for president. So this is quite the turnaround in a 4 year period here. So again, I think it's also kind of a sign of just the podcast sphere in general that has shifted pretty right wing. And you could say that maybe that's the fault of the Democrats. Like, it's totally not just, oh, they all just went right wing randomly. I mean, you can make the case that, I mean, for example, in 2020, when Rogan endorsed Bernie, the Democratic Party really did not um, accept it in open arms. Bernie had to even address it. It was so ridiculous. They didn't accept its endorsement. The party just can't take a win. But there's no question over the last couple of years, Joe has definitely shifted his politics to the right, just in terms of the issues he talks about. And his audience in general has definitely turned more right wing. A lot of his guests, too, are more right wing. There's no question about it. He has the Weinsteins on. Again, it's very anti woke. Um, it's a big segment of his show now, which is not what it used to be. Um, and he probably would have denied this. I mean, he might still deny this, that he's more of a left wing person and that he likes Trump, or that because that's the other thing, guys, which is I think the most confusing thing. There is countless videos of Joe talking about Trump, or literally pretty recently of him saying how I talking about January 6th, where he said, it just goes to show you how dangerous this guy is and he can't be in office. Or him in 2022 with Tom Segura, where he's saying, oh, he's always on Adderall. There's countless videos of him shitting on Trump, saying he's now qualified for president. And then right now, before the election, he endorses him. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It is a little strange. I think a lot of it is guest capture, guys. I mean, you can look at Elon Musk, another example. He's friends with Elon Musk, who loves Trump and is a huge Trump surrogate. I'm sure Joe was under a lot of pressure to get an endorsement out. So I'm not surprised per se that he endorsed him, but it's more of the fact that it was also kind of weird, guys. I mean, he did it right before the election, like the night of. So I'm not sure how big of an impact it's going to have, but it was, and he had Elon Musk on the podcast yesterday, where it was pretty much it's a 2 hour show of shitting on Democrats. How Democrats are so bad, why Trump is good, and that's pretty much what led to the endorsement. And just for context, guys, this is the official post Joe gave, and it's getting a lot of feedback on X. 483,000 likes, no joke. The official statement was the great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be fucked. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear, and I agree with him every step of the way, guys. So that's another key thing. He says he agrees with, and again, I was only a half hour into the podcast, but he made a number of questionable claims during the podcast. Musk did, but sure, so that's some that many would agree with. But so the fact that Joe would endorse that outright, saying everything he said he agrees with, is interesting. And then he says, for the record, yes, it's an endorsement of Trump. Enjoy the podcast. So that's the official statement that he gives, and it's a full-fledged endorsement. And I also think, guys, it's also the fact that he used to be in LA and he moved, and ever since then he moved to Texas, where a lot of his friends are more right wing, I'm sure, and that plays a huge role in this. But it's more emblematic of a shift in the podcast sphere that has definitely become more right wing. But the Democrats, just for the future, regardless of what happened to selection, need to make a better play at the podcast sphere because they have not done a good job with that. Pretty clear. The only Democrat that went on Rogan was John Fetterman. I mean, you got to be kidding me. But yeah, that's what we got on the Rogan front. In terms of the election, guys, there was actually a bomb threat on a. I mean, let's just see here. There was a bomb threat at a polling place. It was a polling center, but apparently it was Russian. It was a Russian. Um, it was Russian disinformation, or it was Russian plan. Yeah, here it is here, guys. Bombs at 2 polling stations in Georgia came from Russia, the state says. So that's pretty wild that we see on election day, these foreign governments getting involved. But it's pretty crazy, guys. And the days, it's only 1:30, guys, and we could totally see by the end of the day more threats, and I'll keep you updated if anything comes out. But as soon as we get a winner from tonight, we'll have a video out on that. So we're in for a crazy night, guys. So again, I got my election prediction video up. You guys can go check that out. And yeah, so the big news: Joe Rogan endorses Donald Trump, and that's what we got. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys hopefully later tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. So all right, thanks. I'll see you later.